I want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Who's king of Memphis now after all the dead bodies? Dolph or Gotti? But before I get started with this demonstration, if I could get you to hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. I want to salute everybody that's watching from the clouds. I want to salute everybody that's catching this on the replay. I want to salute to all my moderators. I want to salute to the whole Rock Squad. Let me salute individually, and we will get into this demonstration. Salute Nola. Salute Sages. Salute 80s baby. Salute. Let me read my disclaimer, and then we're going to dive head first into this demonstration. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Who's king of Memphis now? Who's king of Memphis now? We always hear Gotti mention and throw out there on his records how he's the king of Memphis. Now that Gotti has lost his brother, will Gotti still be taunting his ops? Is this considered a L for Gotti? Nobody this close to Gotti has lost their life up until now that we know of. And allegedly, the killing of his brother, Big Juke, was behind Dolph's. So if that's the case, and now that Gotti has a casualty of war on his side, how is the streets looking at this young Dolph versus Yo Gotti? Remember, y'all, these were street cats. These were street cats. So if you're looking at this from the perspective of a square, I do need you to put on your street mentality. I need for you to look at this from a street perspective. I know, black on black crime. I know we need to stop the violence, but we have to look at it for what it is. And we have to call a spade a spade. Dolph knew what came with the territory. Gotti knew what came with the territory. Dolph knew that it was a possibility of someone taking his life behind this beef with Gotti. Gotti knew that his life could be taken just as well as a close relative. This is what they live for. This is what they rapped for. This is what they rapped about. Now, I could ask the question to you all, was it worth it? Now, y'all could throw some ones down there in the chat if y'all think that it was worth it. Y'all could throw some twos down there if y'all don't think it was worth it. But it is what it is. These were street cats. Whether they rapped about it or whether they lived it, they were street cats. This will come with the territory. And there ain't no needing in us trying to sweep it up under the rug. It ain't no needing us trying to put mascara over the black eye. It ain't no need for us to call it other than what it is. It's street. This is the streets. This is what you get when you play with the streets. This is what you get when you tamper with the streets. I'll drop the link for you, Mike. I will be dropping the link, and if anyone would like to hit the panel with me, feel free to hit the panel. I'll be dropping a link in a few more minutes. Once again, if you would like to hit the panel, feel free to hit the panel. But this is the streets. This is what comes with the territory. And this is why me, along with so many other folks, tell y'all, do not play with the streets. But since some of y'all want to play with the streets, this is the end game. This is what they rapped about. This is what the beef was about, to see who would be crowned the king of Memphis. Dolph got hit 2 to 3 years ago. It seemed like Gotti was winning. But now that Gotti's brother got hit, who's winning? Drop a 1 if you think Gotti is winning. Drop a 2 if you think Dolph is winning. Remember, I'm only talking to the street cats. I get it, black on black crime. I get it, we got to stop the violence. But this is an issue that we have to deal with for what it is. It's the streets. It ain't no getting around this. It ain't no dressing it up. It is what it is. So who's winning? Who won? Maybe this demonstration, maybe when Dolph and Gotti can't see this demonstration, maybe when Gotti see this demonstration, maybe a light will click on in his head. Maybe. Let me drop the link for you, Mike, and help me better understand. But I just got to call it what it is, Mike. And I'm not meaning no disrespect about me calling it how it is. I'm just calling it how it is. I'm calling it how I see it. This is what they rapped about, Mike. This is what the beef was over. Please help me better understand something different, Mike, and anybody else. But this is what they rapped about. This is what it was about. To see who was going to win. What's good with you, brother?
I feel like we gotta come at our community different, bro. Cause you know how everybody be saying stop the violence, bro. We gotta start coming up with like real valuable solutions. Cause everybody say stop the violence. That sound good, bro, but it ain't that simple. You feel me?
I feel
How can violence ever stop when there's poverty in the community? Like we ain't really, you feel me? We ain't really dealing with the real issues. There's no fathers. There's poverty. You got the police trying to kill us. Then you got the drugs that came in the '80s. Then you got the factories that got shipped overseas. So when the factories got shipped overseas to China in the '80s, brothers ain't really had no choice but to sell drugs. You feel me?
I feel you. Let
That's
me
why
ask you.
I don't really blame people for selling drugs because it's like people say it's a choice to sell drugs, but some people really got no choice. Like what you like if you don't got no education, how you gonna be a doctor? How you gonna be a lawyer when you come from poverty? Who gonna pay for you to go to medical school? Like some people really got no choice. The street sells a choice, but some people really don't got no. Cause it's like, bro, when you don't got no father, when your father don't raise you, the streets gonna raise you. You know what I mean? It's like the streets don't choose you. I mean, you don't choose the streets choose you. Nobody really, you feel me, chose that lifestyle. It's just when you don't got no dad, who else gonna raise you? The streets.
Let me ask you this, nephew. How do we stop it? Or can we stop it?
It's like saying, how do we stop America from going to war? The president can stop. That is deep. I just feel like with the streets, that's what people don't understand about the streets. People say, "Oh, stop killing each other, y'all," but this is what people don't understand. Nobody control the streets. It's no man. It's no Malcolm X to be like, "Nah, y'all organize, stop killing each other." You know, all the leaders are dead. So if you don't have no community leaders, who's gonna control the community? Nobody. It can't be stopped because there's no leadership. You know what I mean? How can you stop a kid with no dad saying, "Oh, don't kill this person," but his dad ain't even telling him that? So you think he finna listen to you?
That's a good point,
Feel
brother.
me?
That's a
Nobody
good.
got. I ain't even had no dad for real. You know, none of us had a father, so it's not the violence we should be mad at. It's the fathers. You know what I mean? Why do so many black men not have a father and have a single mom? You know what I mean? It's like all our dads got locked up or either got killed, unfortunately, and that ain't a good thing.
So
And I
you
ain't even
think?
trying to glorify nothing, bro. I'm just telling you the reality. Hold on. I'm just telling you the reality as a young black male. I ain't trying to glorify no violence, but I'm just saying I don't tell people to stop the violence. You know why? Because you can't tell somebody in poverty how to live. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, you right, bro.
Somebody
You
in
right.
poverty, that's like telling somebody in poverty, don't sell weed. How can I say that? I ain't gonna pay his bills. I
You
can't
right.
I can't tell nobody how to live. I can just say like basically all I really can say is get the money, bro. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, get the money. And one thing about violence, when the murder rate go up, bro, guess what happened? The police start investigating you. So murder never good for business. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why BMF they try to stay away from killings, cause when the killings when the killings go up, the police investigations go up. You know what I mean? The police
Right.
start taking pictures, writing down stuff, informants. But I just feel like with the streets, we just gotta try to tell. We basically in the streets, you gotta stop trying to tell people what to do and give people opportunity. Don't tell somebody don't pick up a gun. Just tell them to make money, bro. Cause money is it's basically, bro. When you got money, you ain't trying to kill nobody, bro. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
When I was living that lifestyle, that was cause I ain't had no choice. You feel me? I ain't really had no dad to tell me, "Oh, put the gun down, Mike. Stay in school. Get a job." I ain't had no. The older niggas I came up around, I remember I ran with niggas like 10 years older than me. Them niggas was robbing niggas, shooting niggas, um, stealing cars, selling dope. You feel me? Like I grew up around niggas way older than me, so they ain't really tell me, "Oh, stay in the house or do this." They just told me like, "Oh, this how you do crime and don't get caught." You feel me? And that's misguiding kids because you can't tell no kid this how you sell crack and not get caught. You gonna get caught. So a lot of older niggas in the community they say, "Oh, this how you do it this way, bro. This how you not get caught." But if you in the streets, it's not no way. It's not no cheat code not to get caught. What street nigga you know who never been in jail before? I don't know no street nigga who don't got no felonies. I'm just I'm just telling you the niggas I came up. Everybody I came up around got like 10, 20 felonies. And they all been to prison like 3, 4 times. So I feel like the only good solution is to say if you don't want to get caught, don't do it. That's what I tell a young nigga. I ain't gonna tell no nigga, "Oh, this how you shoot somebody and get away with it," cause everything you do is come back on you in a form of karma. So you can either have good karma or bad karma. So you gotta just feel me. Life is what you make it. You got
I
bad karma and
yeah,
good karma. Juk got the bad karma.
I feel you, nephew, and I want to touch off on two things that I definitely feel you about. I feel you about the fathers not
Yeah,
being
no
present.
fathers.
I definitely feel you, and I respect it. And we had the same situation when I was growing up. I'm 51, so that goes to show
Yeah,
you how long this
it's
thing
been
with
going on.
fathers not being around has been in existence. Also, I
Mm-hmm.
want to touch off on and respect your opinion is how can we tell people that's in the streets and in poverty if we don't, because we went through this as well. They were saying y'all need to stop selling drugs, but at the
They
same time
can't.
y'all
They
was
gotta feed
telling
their
us
family.
right, y'all was telling us to stop selling drugs, but at the same time y'all wasn't giving us no options. Y'all wasn't giving us another way out. I respect you, nephew, on both of those. I'm gonna let Tommy slide in and let Tommy build off of him. Build off of him, Tommy. Build with him.
Um, yeah, salute Rock Squad, salute everybody, salute my brother. Um, Shank Rock, we 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 absolutely know how this goes. All right, and it's like, okay, you touch one of mine, I'ma touch one of yours. All right, and simply because that's the code. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, yo, when do it end? You
It
know,
can.
because we seen how many times we seen generations and generations and generations of the beef. You know what I'm saying? It's not like see these streets not set up for somebody to be able to call it off. All right. Simply because one side not going back down and the other side not going back down. All right. Because in the streets, you do it to death. You know what I mean? And it don't make sense to outside forces. Everybody going to say this, that, and the third, because it's easy to say it when you're not the one in it and you're not the one going through it. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to just say, call it off. All right. When they ain't kill your man, when they ain't kill your cousin, when they ain't kill your brother. You know what I'm saying? So we on the outside looking in, and yeah, to us it look foolish. And it is foolish. All right. But that we always say the ends justify the means, but what is the case when there's no end, when there's no end to justify anything? All right, and you ask the question, who is winning? We know in this is only going to be losers, because it only can be losers, it can't be no winner. All right. And the sooner people realize that, I think the better off it'll be. Because yo, you're not gonna drop everybody on the other side. They not gonna drop everybody on your side. And even if y'all do, what y'all gonna get for it? Y'all not gonna get nothing for this. Nothing. All right. The winner don't win anything. All right. It's supposed to be to the victor go the spoils, but what are the spoils? Let's be honest. What are the spoils? Absolutely nothing. So you doing all of this for bragging rights, all the bloodshed, all the grief you bringing to people families. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, we've been seeing it our whole life. Shank Rock, you know what I mean? It's not that men can't think and men can't understand. But the problem is men can't talk. Men can't work things out like men because too many emotions, too many feelings, everything running high, and don't nobody want to man up and sit down. Sit down where two logical men can come to a reasonable understanding. I'm not saying y'all gotta be friends. Y'all don't have to walk away friends, but y'all absolutely positively gotta walk away. If y'all wanna survive till tomorrow, somebody gotta say, yo, we gotta call this off. All right? Because yo, you know how this go. It ain't no way that Memphis can stand the America looking at them saying, oh, y'all just letting black gangsters run a wild through Memphis and calling the deaths, calling for deaths in Memphis. And look, Memphis is going to put a stop to this. It's called the FBI. They're going to put a stop to this. I promise you. Listen, I played starred in this movie before, so I know how this movie end. Okay, Gotti is gonna go away in some handcuffs. All right, they gonna give him a sentence so long that everybody gonna forget about Gotti if he don't figure out a way to bring this to an end. All right, you gotta bring this to. And far as I know, I'm sure is already in motion, and Gotti probably going to jail, even whether he ended or not. But I'm just saying, I think, bro, you a boss up. Call it into this bloodshed. Call it into this bloodshed because it ain't gonna be no winners. It's only gonna be losers. And I'm not here to say who fault it is. I'm not here to say who right or wrong. I'm just saying, bro, I'm being a logical, reasonable man right now when I say y'all gotta bring this to an end. Y'all gotta bring this to an end simply because y'all set your families in positions where you know they depending on y'all for their survival, and you gonna let them down by having to go sit in that box for the next 30-40 years. Okay, y'all got everything to lose, nothing to gain. Why can't these brothers see that? Y'all gotta sit down. Y'all gotta figure out a way to bring this to an end, because in the end, bro, consider your audience. Who you impressing? You impressing a bunch of guys with nothing but opinions. All right, nothing but opinions. And guess what? They ain't going in that water with you. All right, it's you that gotta pay the price. And that price is steep, bro. Do you want to pay the price for that? Because I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right this second, you're not going to get anything for this. Nothing. They could crown you the king of Memphis, but you going to get crowned it in a penitentiary while you sitting in there so long that everybody just going to forget about you. Because let me tell you something about that cell. That cell is one lonely place. All right. And guess what? You going to figure out why you sitting in that cell. The world's still turning. It's just turning without you. Okay, everybody gonna still get along. Everybody, the world gonna keep turning with or without you. And I'm sure you rather be turning with the world instead of your world stopping, but the rest of the world steady turning. All right, I've been there, bro. It's a lonely place. That's a lonely place, and it's gonna turn you into the kind of dude you've been trying not to have to be. You know what I'm saying? And yo, I mean, only thing I'm sitting here saying, bro, is I pray that these brothers find a way to bring this to an end. I pray that they find a way to bring this to an end because we don't need no more of this bloodshed over absolutely nothing. Okay, you put some microphones in some dude's face, put some cameras on some dudes, and what the man, they just forget all about this still real life. You know what I'm saying? And in real life, you're gonna have some losers, all right? And the dudes who end up on the losing end gonna really end up taking some serious losses, and the kind of losses that's not gonna net you anything because you're not gonna get nothing for this loss. You're not gonna reap no kind of benefit from this loss. What you gonna rent a bunch of guys with nothing saying, oh, he was the man, and this dude was the king, and this dude won it, and man, for real, are you really, really willing to pay a price like that for some accolades like that? Because the last time I checked, bro, none of that stuff don't feed nobody.
Let me slide in, Tommy. I want to stay right there, nephew. As far as what Tommy was just saying, none of this stuff don't feed nobody. Now, nephew, where 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 would you or what would you like to see from us older cats? Because we hear it all the time. The young people don't want to listen to the old cats. We hear it from the young cats. The old cats is washed up. Won't they just move aside? But you being younger than us, nephew, what would you like to see? Or what do you think that the older cats could do that could bridge the gap between us and the younger cats?
I mean, it's not really the older people who the problem. It's really the young people. But it's only the only thing with the older people is that they just got a God, like the elders. The older people just got a God. The youth. It's like most people who killing it in these streets. They're probably between the ages 15 and 25. So, I really feel like you can't really change niggas. You feel me? We can only really save the kids. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to save, it's like Noah's Ark. Like Noah couldn't save grown people because they didn't want to listen. But if you can get the kids between ages like 5 and 15, bruh, that's between the ages that you really make the choices like what you want to be in life. So I feel like only thing the older people can do, the older people can't save people. The older people can only raise their kids because truth is, bro, it started at home. So if you can just stay in your kid life and give your kid wisdom, Tommy was just giving me, that'll change everything. But most people like 80, they say 85% of black men in prison they grew up in single moms homes. So imagine if them 85% of black prisoners, imagine if they actually had a dad who was telling them the stuff Tommy was telling me, they probably would never been in jail in the first place. So I feel that the only thing older people can really do is just raise their kids and get married and keep the family together and just keep giving the kids the wisdom that Tommy was just giving me. That's the best thing because if you really raising your kids and teaching your kids about God and the truth in the Bible and just the good stuff in life, I don't think a kid will be out here killing people. I just think that just comes from the lack of like, because it's like when you got the lack of father love, you start dishing out hate. You know what I mean? When you ain't never had nobody just tell you like, "I love you, son, and I'm proud of you."
Right. Right.
That probably will make the kids want to be killers because they never had that love foundation. You know what I mean?
That's real. That's real.
But yeah, I feel like you can't save 20-year-olds, you can't save 21-year-olds, you can't save 30-year-olds. You can only save the kids because that's the only people who gonna listen. What 25-year-old finna listen to somebody who not their daddy? You feel? It don't
That's
even
real.
make sense. You like, I don't even know you, nigga. Why the hell would I listen to you? Don't even. My daddy don't even tell me what to do. So, imagine, imagine you telling a 25-year-old to put the guns down and stop killing. They gonna be like, who the hell is this nigga? This nigga 50 years. Like that's why I say you can only save the kids because the older people ain't gonna want to listen. Unfortunately.
That's real, nephew. As you done spit some real ish today, you know, it's like, go, come on,
But the
nephew.
thing with the kids, if the kids keep seeing all this killing, what you think the kids gonna be doing if the kids seeing Gotti and Dolph beefing and they dad and got killed by one of the CMG or PNR people? How you think the kid gonna feel? Cause you like, damn, you killed my daddy and now
Yeah.
you telling me to chill. So I feel like we gotta get these kids between ages. I say the ages 5 to 15, cause that's the ages you really know. Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be in the military. I want to be a police. You know, between 5 and 15 you know what you're gonna be around 15, because 15 is like 10th grade, ninth grade, right? So you gotta save these children between the ages 5 and 15. And if you wait past them ages, it's too late because most kids they jump in the streets around like what 14, 15, 16, 13. So if you can talk to them around 5 and 15, I think that'll stop a lot of murder in our community.
And that's real. Now, you gave us a perspective for the older ones. What would be words, or what would be things that you could say to, let's say, a 17-year-old to a 25-year-old, the ones that's really out there putting in the work, the hitters, the shooters, that's between 17 and 25 that won't listen to nobody? What would you say to them?
I mean, but it's easy to get somebody between 17 and 25. It's easy to get them to stop killing. I mean, it ain't really nothing. It's hard. You just gotta have real solutions. They with them type of ages, if they in the streets, they just need money to get out the streets. You feel me? Because anybody will stop killing, but who gonna stop killing when they don't got nothing to lose? That's the whole point. You want to have them have something to lose. So if you can, let's just say older niggas going around and they like, oh, who got guns? I'll give y'all niggas $400, $300 to give me y'all guns. If you start buying their guns, they'll sell you the guns. That's what people need to do. Why
Yeah,
say put the guns down when you can just buy the guns from them? You
yeah,
know what I mean? Who won't sell a gun for 500, 600? You think somebody won't be like, no, I love my gun more than money? No, they finna sell the gun and get the money. So people got to stop saying put the guns down and start saying sell me the gun. You
right.
remember the police used to say, what was that police program when they said bringing a gun? You can,
The,
I forgot what it was called. You remember what I'm talking about? When the
yeah,
police used to buy guns?
yeah. Man, it
Why they,
was.
why they stopped doing that?
Yep, yep.
It's like the police don't even care. Back when I was a kid, the police used to say it was. I don't think it was called crime. I think it was Crime Stoppers, but they used to say, "Oh, if you bringing a gun, I'll give you $100. I'll give you $400." Nah, the police don't even do them same type of programs. So it's like it's really just about money because anybody can stop something. You know, a killer can stop. Let's say somebody a killer, right? And you say, "Oh, I got $1 million, bro, for you to stop killing somebody." You know they gonna stop because it's money, but it's
Right.
basically we need to try to find a way to get these guns off the streets because it's not the gun that kill people, it's the people that kill people. But the only reason they killing people because they don't got the same wisdom that Tommy got. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These dudes don't got no education, no dad, no knowledge of God, no knowledge of self, no knowledge of economical empowerment because that's all been destroyed in our community. So we can start paying these guys, these young boys, to sell us their guns. I think a lot of these killings will stop. But who realistically in the hood going around saying, "Oh, bro, I got 300, 400 for you to sell me a gun"? Nobody really trying to buy up all these guns. So you know what I mean? If it was no guns, there'll be no killings. You know what
Right.
I mean? But when there's a lot of guns and a lot of people with no wisdom walk around with them guns, it's gonna be a lot of killing. So we just need to try to find a program we can make to buy up the guns so the kids can't shoot each other.
That's an excellent point of view. James says up north it was buyback program. Appreciate that, James. And that's
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying.
true.
Whatever happened to that program though? I don't see Memphis doing that type of program.
See this, and this is where I hold I hold black millionaires accountability for things like this. Like, we so quick to donate to all these
To
other
Gucci and Louis and Versace.
right. You know, Alder Storm says them non-black folks got more guns than we do. They don't even get a buyback program, right? But like you were saying, nephew, we so quick to donate to Gucci. We so quick to sponsor Burberry and all them other brands. We're sponsoring them. We're donating to them. You know,
exactly, and they don't even like black people. Gucci,
exactly.
we all know
tell
Gucci
you.
racist.
Right, they'll tell you, and they've been telling us for years how, you know, they made their brands and everything. They didn't make it for urban, you know.
They said they ain't making for black people. You remember even the NFL was being racist, and Jay-Z talking about, "Nah, y'all calm down. We need a discussion." It was like, nigga, the NFL already don't fuck with us, and you still gonna have a meeting with them, Jay-Z, after they even said that Colin Kaepernick can't be back in the NFL because he took a stand.
See, that's the thing that I be talking about, bro. If they can just get, we gotta make selling us out a problem, and until we make selling us out a problem, you gonna always have that guy that's willing to sell us out for his personal gain. You see what I'm saying? Because your personal gain don't do nothing for the culture. You know what I mean? It just give you another stack of money so you can sit on it and look down on everybody else. You feel me? And it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing because the message you send. The message you
It's
sending
called the
is,
boule.
you know what I'm saying? And it's me over all. All right? And listen, let me explain something to you. No man is above the culture. Okay? No man is above our community. No one man personal gain should be worth the sacrifice of our ethnic image. It just should not be. You know what I mean? And until we get the balls to say, look, that's not cool. I don't support it. And look, we got to make things that are really cool, cool. And things that are really not cool, not cool. That's the stuff we got to worry about. Okay? Listen, you got these guys sitting on here, the worst of the worst. Okay? Always somehow got the biggest voices, you know? And the guys who are for a positive change and seriously worried about our ethnic image, because listen, it is a complete failure to the world. Until we get on it and get serious about the way we look in the eyes of the world, it is not going to change. And it takes, a significant amount of us to care. Because as we see, listen, when you see this happening and all of this negativity being promoted, you gotta know it's by design. All right, because like
That's
we were
why they took
speaking,
away the buyback program. They want us to kill you. Why you think they don't say,
right,
"Oh,
and
sell me
then
y'all guns"? They want us to. The nigga, they putting guns in the community in Chicago. It'd be crates of guns in the middle of the night out of nowhere. It's just 1,000 guns on a crate on the train, and nobody know where them guns coming from. Like,
and you got these like I said, the worst of the worst just so happen to know about this train. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That
you
that
got
these
kids with
guns is
military
going to
guns. Who
be
giving
on
these
this
kids these
train.
military guns? These
You
guns coming out the
understand?
sky.
Some kids who wouldn't have no idea how to know that these guns is on this train. How did these people in the
Exactly.
ghetto with no information, with no connections to this information, suddenly know that all of these guns is going to be on these trains?
Yeah, it'd be crates of guns popping up. It'd be like, um, let's say it'd be like 11 at night. A train will just pop up in Chicago, like you go on these trains, it's just straight crates of guns, and it's like no police around. It's like, how do
You
all
know what
these
I'm
guns is
saying?
getting
And
out
now the
community?
worst of the worst.
Chicago don't even got gun stores. So how everybody getting a gun in Chicago when Chicago don't got one gun store? All the guns come from Indiana.
And now the worst of the worst got possession of these guns. It is crazy, bro.
I never even knew that
Military
about
guns.
Chicago.
Chicago don't got one gun store.
I never knew
Only
that, bro.
Indiana got them.
And guess what? It ain't just happened in Chicago. It happened in LA. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
So
in the
so
80s.
yeah. Yeah, bro, you on it. It sure did. You know what I mean? And now, so, me being a logical, reasonable guy, I'm saying, bro, how the hell these ghetto guys who with access to very get to this information? I don't get it, bro. I mean, I know how they got access to this information. Okay, listen, they call our neighborhoods self cleaning ovens. If you drop the guns off, they just get each other.
Mm-hmm. That's why the people don't get like they been putting guns in the community, putting drugs in the community, putting liquor in the community. All this stuff just ain't come out the sky like crack cocaine. Then guns started coming, AKs. Cause when I was a kid, it used to be like 10 niggas I was running with, but only one nigga have a gun. Nowadays, it'd be like 10 niggas and everybody got a gun. You know what I mean? So it's like, and we just had a revolver. Nah, everybody got 30 clips. Everybody got AR-15s at 14 years old. So it's like, if the hood so poor and poverty stricken, how everybody got a fucking $1,000 assault rifle? If the hood so poor, like, you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we so poor, how everybody can afford these expensive military guns to shoot each other with?
You right, fellas.
You heard what I said? So I said if the hood's so poor and we so poverty stricken, how everybody got these expensive guns with 30 bullets in them and AR-15s and AKs and M6? How everybody getting these expensive ass military guns if the hood's so poor? We can barely afford to pay our rent, but we got all this money to get guns and bullets. Like, where all these guns coming from in Chicago? How 14-year-olds got $1,000 gun and he don't even got a job yet? Where we getting this stuff from? But I mean, we can blame the government all day, but it's still our fault because we still feel be following. It's like crack. We always say the government put crack in the community, but we was still selling it, even though people
Right,
ain't know better. But it's still the fact that if you already know the government wants us to fail, why would you fall into their trap? Then the '93 crime bill came. That's when all the fathers got locked up. So you gotta think you got a whole generation of kids who ain't had no fathers. So I
right,
don't never get why the government be saying, "Oh, why black people keep acting like this? What's wrong with this black on black crime?" Y'all created the black on black crime because
right.
in the '60s you ain't had no black like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, the '60s movement and stuff, the Black Panthers. You ain't had no black on black crime in the '60s. The black on black crime came after the community leaders was killed. When y'all locked up the community leaders and killed all the revolutionaries. That's what a killer really is. A killer basically is a opposite of a revolutionary. Cause
Mm.
you ain't never see Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Fred Hampton killing each other and shooting at each other. That
You
came
know,
in the '80s when they put the cocaine in the community on
you know what you
purpose. The
talk. You know
CIA.
what you're talking about, nephew. You definitely know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. Like I feel like all this junk was planned. Like even the crack cocaine. You can't tell me just that was a coincidence that the crack started falling out the sky and you feel me? Everybody, all our families started being on drugs and getting locked up for selling drugs. I don't think that was a coincidence that crack just came out the middle of the blue. Like, but that was just that was old days. I'm just saying they still got the same tactics they do. Like when we organize and try to actually build. Like even y'all ever heard of Black Wall Street?
Yes, yes.
The Black Wall Street ain't do nothing illegal, but that still got bombed for no reason. What they did that was so illegal to get bombed from the sky.
And
400 people died.
that was a few years out of slavery. We was fresh out of slavery. It wasn't that long out of slavery. And Black Wall Street wasn't just in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street was all over. Down there in Atlanta, down there in Georgia,
Yeah,
Indianapolis.
100 black cities got destroyed.
Yep, yep, yep.
And
So,
you heard even Philly. They dropped the bomb on Philly in the black
yep,
community,
yep,
Philadelphia.
yep. So it's not so much of us wanting to do for ourselves. It's not so much of black people doing for themselves because it's been proven. We've always been independent people, but every
Yeah,
time,
Black Wall Street. We had our own community, all black owned stuff. We even had an airport in Black Wall Street, but the airport got bombed by the government.
Yes. So every time we build something, they always come in and find a way to destroy it.
Yeah, Rosewood, Florida. You seen the movie Rosewood?
Yes.
They
Yes.
burnt all them homes for no reason, just because they was black people living in nice homes.
And guess what they did, brothers? They had to figure out a way to keep us from building it. All right, because eventually they
That's why they
figured
burned
out we
everything
was
down.
right, but eventually they knew we would figure out a way to build it and sustain it. And we would figure out a way to build it, sustain it, and protect it. They knew we would eventually figure that out. So what did they do, bro? Into the civil rights movement and segregation. They desegregated, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
they knew that they had, see, back then the doctor lived next door to the plumber. You understand? The
Yep.
So
teacher
everybody has
lived
skills.
the teacher lived next door to the lawyer. So what they did was say, hey, you know what? This how we can stop them from even building it. Let's let them move. Some of them move around us.
Yep.
Let's accept some of them into our fold. The ones the ones who got the capital to back the building process. Let's make them not even want to have to worry about building. Let's make them comfortable. Let's tell them, hey, y'all can come and live around us, and
Mm.
y'all can look down on the ones we won't let live around us.
Mm.
Now, guess what? That's where you get the bougie black class from.
Mm.
You understand? Who quick to jump on the other side and oppose us?
Yeah, Black Wall Street lasted for 50 years, but if you look at the history of Black Wall Street in the span of that 50 years, it wasn't one murder. So it wasn't
You
one
know?
murder or one robbery in 50 years, bro.
Right,
Like, it wasn't no
right.
black on
Want
black
me to
crime
tell
back
you
then.
why? Let me explain to you why, youngster. Because see, back then it was a code of conduct. You understand? It
Yeah,
wasn't
we
no
was trying to
terror.
protect the community from the other people from coming
Right,
into it.
bro. There wasn't no terrorizing the community. Okay? It was no because and
And
it
it
was
was no
no
single moms. It was the fathers from
right,
the household, and every
right,
household had a dad, and they was married.
right. See, every household had a dad because welfare was never not heard of. Okay? A man was
Yeah.
needed to provide. You know what I'm saying? So listen, when I keep telling you, my brother, that this is by design, this was a program in the works for decades, okay, to try to figure out how to keep us from even wanting to have to build. And listen, they call you lazy, but look in the history books and check who made black people so lazy. Okay, they made you lazy. They made you not concerned. They said, listen, check this out. If you come and go to school and buy this piece of paper from us, we'll guarantee you a spot in a house in our neighborhood. And guess what? You ain't gotta build nothing in that neighborhood. You can leave that neighborhood behind. You can let the worst of the worst go. See, back then, the worst of the worst couldn't exist. Let me tell you why? Because we policed our own community. You
Yeah,
understand
and they
where
made
I'm
something
coming
called
from?
you ever heard of something called the black codes? They made it. They made something called like the black
Yes,
codes. Like,
indeed.
say if you knew
Yeah.
how to read or write, you would be locked up for even reading the 13th Amendment
Yes,
because it
indeed,
was
bro.
illegal for blacks to read at the time. So even if you read the thing Abraham Lincoln wrote, even if you read the 13th Amendment, you would be back in jail and turned into a slave all over again because you decided to read or write. It's Bro, I just feel like we've been so what's the word for it when you like a disadvantage?
Bro, we've been preconditioned, right, to
Yeah.
hate each other. We've been preconditioned to look down on each other. We've been preconditioned to fight each other because, listen, how do you take a strong mind from a strong bloodline of kings and pharaohs and make them,
Make it
uh,
illegal to
uh,
read or write. That's what they
right,
did.
right, and make them completely ignorant to who they are, to where they come from, any understanding of the great men and women that they descend from. Okay, you rip apart their history book. You
Yeah, that's
tell
what in the
them,
Nat Turner movie. You remember in the Nat Turner movie, they only let Nat Turner read certain Bible scripts was saying, "Oh, obey your
and you
slave," man. Like
and
it
you
was so
get
messed up what they was doing
and
to
then
us. Bro. He can
but
only
no,
read a couple
really
verses.
peep the language, young brother. You know how many people was against him reading at all? Why? Because he would eventually stumble upon the information that would make him say, "Hey, this is not where we supposed to be." If they
Yeah,
kept
when Nat Turner actually started reading the scriptures to empower the slaves, they got mad at him for that. Like, I'm like,
Of
damn,
course,
that's
you had
crazy.
you had some of them who thought he should be killed immediately. You had some of them who thought he should be hanging from the nearest tree immediately. You dig
Exactly. And they
that?
called Nat Turner crazy for starting a revolution, but how can somebody be crazy if their wife got raped, their kids got sold, he got sold to another
It's
slave
called
master?
the
So how
it's
can they
called the
say he was the
media,
crazy
youngster.
one?
It's called the media, youngster. You know how it's called propaganda in the media. It's how they make the innocent look guilty and make the guilty look like the innocent. They call fighting for your freedom. You know what they call you as
Crazy.
they call you a warlord. They call you all kinds of
A
derogatory names.
terrorist.
Right, when clearly you are just fighting for your freedom, you fighting for your humanity. But guess who got the leverage? Your oppressor. And your
Yeah.
oppressor control the media. They control the information that reaches the people.
They
And the
call it
only
Al Qaeda. How can Al Qaeda
right,
be terrorists if them just
you know
regular
what
people
I'm
with
saying?
sandals
They
on?
call it terrorism.
Regular people with
Okay.
sandals is considered Al Qaeda. They just regular civilians with sandals and
And
robes on.
and and keep in mind what I'm getting ready to say. I don't know, Shank. Stop me whenever you think I might be going off track or getting it out the way. But you see what's going on over in the Middle East right now, right? With
Yeah, man.
with the Jews and the
Oh yeah,
Palestine,
Palestine.
right? You see how they want to make the Palestinians look like they just crazy, but no, they
Exactly.
fighting
The
for their
Palestinians is
freedom.
innocent people getting bumped for no
You know what
reason.
I'm saying? But you can't freely say that. You can't freely say that you must side with the Jewish people. If you don't side with the Jewish people, even when the world can clearly see what's going on, okay, you've been oppressing them people for all of these
Same
decades.
thing was Black Wall Street. They bombed Black Wall Street. Now they bombing
You
Palestine.
understand where I'm
Same people
coming
doing it.
from? And now,
Same government.
but you got to understand, youngster, that they control the media. So the
Yeah.
media need to make the guilty look like the innocent and the innocent look like the guilty, knowing what y'all did to those people, knowing that these people just fighting for the right to human treatment. But knowing that these people, y'all came and took these people land, the same thing that happened to the Indians. You remember I used to watch
Yeah,
those
Black Wall
cowboy.
Street. You know the people at
Yeah,
Black Wall Street never got reparations for that? Never,
no,
or they didn't get insurance
exactly,
for the house.
bro. Exactly, bro.
Let me
Exactly.
let me
Cause
slide
back
in
then
real
it
quick.
was no black assurance house company. So when they burnt the house down, they didn't even get compensated for that. They just got left stranded homeless.
Let
And
me
400
slide in
people
real
died.
quick, fellas. We got a new panelist. Salute Monica. Slide in, Monica.
Hey
Salute,
Shank.
Monica.
Hey Tommy. I think that's Floyd, Florida. How you doing?
Yeah, Florida nigga.
Well, I've been listening to this discussion and I really got a lot to say.
Talk to us.
We
Talk
listening,
to me,
babe.
girl.
My biggest problem with the youth of today, they don't understand their ancestry. They don't understand or know where they came from. And until they figure out and know where they came from, they'll start acting differently because America was built off the sweat of all our ancestors back. The
Yes,
reason why
babe. Yes,
America
ma'am.
is where they at is because we was in the fields picking cotton, tobacco, sugar cane, uh, living on farms, being pro, being productive as you know, keep having babies. They rape us. You know, I'm sorry, R word us and get us pregnant to make more slaves. They need to know where we came from. Because the minute we stepped off that ship from wherever they got us from, they took our identity, wiped it away. Period. And until you can figure out where you came from and what your people stood for, because all of us are Black and we're here in America, but we came from all different regions, not just Africa. We came from, Trinidad, the UK, all of that. We need to learn where we came from. Our ancestors gave up a lot for us to be where we at today, even though it don't seem like we're very far, because 50 years ago we thought we was, but right now we right back where we were 50 years ago, and maybe worse, because of what they out here doing in the street. We killed. They used to have a Ku Klux Klan eliminating us, but now the Ku Klux Klan sitting back because we are eliminating each other. I mean, somebody talk to me.
Yes, you exactly right. You exactly right.
It just doesn't make any sense. Why are we killing each other? What is a gun? Nothing. Back in the day, I used to fight with their fists. Matter of fact, I did. We didn't use guns. You fight with your fists, like what's his name said on Friday, to live to see tomorrow. They got to remember. Look at your history. Back in during slavery time, that's what they used to do. They used to pit us against each other.
Divide and conquer.
Hello? And now we study going against each other, and we're not getting anywhere. What is all this murder proving? I mean, really? What did y'all getting out of it? Nothing. But going to the cemetery, going to another funeral, another rest in peace, making the funeral home, they the only ones getting something out of it because they getting rich. Believe me, at least 20 grand a funeral. They getting rich.
With 2 and 3 and 4 funerals a week.
No, 2 or 3 funerals a day here in Cleveland. The only reason why the last couple of days has been quiet, because it's cold up here. But other than that, across my feed every day, I see with 3 or 4 people being killed or murdered. But since we've had this cold the last 4 days, minus 10 degrees, everybody been staying in. But every day, the funeral home, they packed. We went to bury a loved one. They said they couldn't give us an appointment for 2 weeks out. A funeral home. All this killing has got to stop. And just to go back to you when y'all was talking about Chicago and all the guns and stuff, I would like to say that up in Chicago, it was a story. It was a documentary about this group of guys, and they called themselves the Box Boy Robbers. And they had a guy who grew up living in a central rail station, and he knew everything about the rails. He knew what kind of merchandise was coming in on what box car. All they were robbing trains while they were moving and throwing the stuff off, and had vans and trucks waiting there just to pick the stuff up and take it out. It's called Box Boy Robbers, and they was from Chicago. And another thing about Chicago, you got a whole lot of military bases up in Chicago now. That's the government. Ooh.
Yeah, that's how the government got us in Chicago. Y'all ever heard of the projects? Like how the projects set up? They got one project with all the guns, one project's got all the drugs, one project's got nothing. It's all strategic because you get one one people guns, one people all the drugs, one people all the just anything that's like harm us. Like it's like basically they made these projects, right? And they started tearing the projects down. I think in like '05, it was something called the Calumet building. They started tearing the projects down. So when the projects got torn down in Chicago, the neighborhoods had to split up. So it's people from projects going into GD areas and BD areas and vice lord areas. Then they try to set up shop to sell drugs because the projects got torn down strategically. Then you got to move to a GD neighborhood. Now you trying to sell drugs in the GD neighborhood. Now that's causing confusion. So it's all. I feel like they did all this shit strategically. 'Cause think about it. The opposite of the 40 acres in the middle is what? A project building. And why y'all trying to stack us up like we still slaves and we was the ones who built this country, but we got to live like this and fucking 50, 60 floor project houses. It's like, bruh, why we never really got the 40 acres and why was we so quick to get the projects? And we don't even own the projects. The projects ain't not like I just feel like it was all to keep us distracted. As long as we in the projects, guess what? We ain't worrying about our 40 acres in the mill. We can't grow food in the projects. We can't in the projects, how a woman supposed to have 10 kids or 5 kids? She can't do that in the projects because the more land, the more kids. So they know, oh, if black people got 40 acres, they'll start having 40 kids. And that's the whole point. They don't want us to reproduce. Why you think the KKK made Planned Parenthood for girls can have abortions? It's no coincidence, bro. 40 million black people been aborted since 1970 with Planned Parenthood. It's all to keep our population down. Because guess what? The lower our population, we don't got a lot of voting power and political power. If we only 13% of the population, that's only like 10% of the vote. How can we ever change something if we don't even got political power to vote? Black women
Okay.
nowadays, my grandma had like 6, 7 kids. Nowadays, my mama got 3 kids because black women don't have as many kids as they was. But nowadays, black women only gonna have 3, 4 kids. Back then, black woman was having 10 kids and could still feed every baby. None. Show me a black woman in 2024 who having 10 kids. Come on, y'all. I'm right.
Well, let me ask you something. So, Mr. Tommy hit on the talking about Palestine. Do you know why America pays Israel so much, $350 million a year? Do you know why?
I have no clue.
Because during Hitler's time, when he started taking in the Jews, he asked the UN. He asked the UN, would anybody take the Jews? The only country that said they would take in the Jews was the Dominican Republic. And the Jews didn't want to go there. So they had to suffer through the camps. So in the treaty with everything with Israel, America agreed to pay them $350 million a year. They paying them because of they felt guilty because they didn't take them in when they had the chance to take them in for nothing. That's why.
They can get all that money. I seen Biden give Ukraine 500 billion in 1 year, but my people been suffering since 1619. And I'm not even mad at the money they giving people, but it's just like this simple fact is like Martin Luther King said. Y'all ever heard of the Homestead Act?
Yes.
They start giving immigrants land, farming equipment,
See, it's the
farm
message they
agriculture
sending, bro.
loans.
And they also paid the Jews just like they paid the Chinese people.
It's the
Remember we
message they sending.
the
You know,
Chinese
Abraham Lincoln gave the slave owners reparations for loss of property when slavery ended. The slave owners got paid twice because it's called when you
and
lose
we
Pay
property,
attention to the
they got
message.
they got
and we
reparations twice. They
and we
got
was
paid from the slaves, and when slavery ended, Abraham Lincoln had to get them reparations for the
yep.
compensation of the loss of property because slaves was considered property, unfortunately.
We
If
still
you bring this up, they will
are.
call you racist. They will call. If you bring this up, they will call you racist. They will call you every name in the book to get you to shut up. Okay, but if the Jewish people bring up their people talk about the people who committed those transgressions against them, okay, you better not call them anything. You better not even say nothing. You better just stay quiet and listen. But understand why. It's the power they acquired from their unity.
Yeah,
Mr.
you remember when Martin Luther King started
Mr.
saying cut the check? When Martin Luther King found out about a homestead, he like America giving fucking European immigrants a financial foundation with farming equipment, land for free, free farming loan. I mean, what is called agriculture loans. It's like how do America have a homestead act, but it wasn't no black people who received during the homestead act. It wasn't that one black person who got the free land. They all went to European immigrants from like Sicily. You remember when they was coming on the boats doing like Ellis Island and stuff? They all got a financial economic basis, but black people we couldn't get anything. It's like, damn, Kennedy, you giving them all that, but these are European immigrants who never even lived in America. The people who built
Yeah.
America can't get
And you
one
see what
acre.
they did, bro? They
It's
gave the
crazy.
Irish, they gave the Irish the police departments, and they gave the the Italians the fire department. Okay? Listen,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave black people nothing.
We wasn't
They
part of the
gave us
Homestead Act.
nothing.
But Mr. Tommy, and the reason why I know about the Jewish culture and everything that went on with it is because I was raised and went to school with nothing but a bunch of Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And they do talk about it. Matter of fact, I had a teacher back in the day. I'll never forget him. His name was Mr. College, and he still had his numbers on his arm where he was in a concentration camp by Hitler.
Yeah.
They
But
talk
And
about
it's deeper than
and
Jewish people.
you see how they
America
can
don't help
freely
Jewish
talk
people because they
about it.
white. America only help Jewish people because they the ones who funded slavery. They don't help Jewish people because they white. They just help
And
Jewish
then
people because they the ones who funded the slave trade. The Jewish people,
and then
the
they won't
bankers.
even tell you and then they skip all over the fact that it was Jewish bankers who funded the Jewish Holocaust.
Yeah, they don't talk about that though.
They don't
no,
want to talk about that. But they
no.
quick to tell you that it was black people who sold black people into slavery. See, they can freely say that, but
Wait,
you
wait,
But
better
who,
wait,
but
not.
who funded the slave
wait, wait,
ships?
wait,
But you
Who
better.
funded the
But
slave
you
ships
better
though?
not. But you better not go and tell them that it was the Jewish bankers who funded the Jewish Holocaust. They funded Hitler. They gave Hitler the money.
They sure did. But let me step in on one thing, okay? And when they say black people sold black people, that is true because when they went to some parts of Africa to get slaves, they had kings and queens, head of tribes over there selling their people to the slave
Yeah,
trade.
we not denying that. We
That's
we
true. They
we
did.
know
Black
that
people
to
did
be
sell black
true.
people. That's true.
But 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 what I'm saying is, I mean, when you go there,
It's
understand you
divide and
gotta go
conquer.
all the
Divide and
way
conquer.
there. See,
Yeah.
those black people that was getting sold by black people, they were already slaves in Africa. Okay?
Yeah.
No,
It,
so, I know I can't totally go with that one.
I mean,
They was
I
kidnapped
can
people.
back what I'm
They
saying
wasn't
up.
slaves, but they
It,
got kidnapped and sold into
I
slavery.
so,
Some
The
of them
some
Arabs
of
too.
some of them got kidnapped, my brother, but most of them was
were
already slaves in Africa.
But
Yeah, because
some
the
of them were
Arabs,
sold.
he right,
But
because the
some of
Arabs had us
them,
in slavery too before the black people. The Arabs, people don't even talk about the Saharan slave trade. The Arabs were slaving us for 1,500 years. I'm talking about before, but nobody mad at the Arabs though. But everybody think the Arabs love us, but they was enslaving us for 15. Why you think so many black people Muslim? That's not by choice. That's because the Arab they made us be Muslim. Or they was gonna chop your head off. The Arab is called the Saharian slave trade. Why you think Gaddafi tried to give us reparations? Because Gaddafi, he apologized because he said we was wrong for, you feel me, doing that to y'all people, the Arabs. But everybody think Arabs just love black people for some reason.
So it's not like black people denied that happened because we know that happened. We
Black
know the
people sold black
history.
people and Arabs sold black people too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not that we denying that. All right, listen. Whatever the case, how we got here. Okay, since we been here, it been one miserable story after another.
But all black people not the same. Just how our age is not the same. You're not gonna say a Korean the same as a Japanese
Right,
person. Why do
right.
everybody think black people just because we all black, we the same people? It's different tribes. All age is not the same, so how can all Africans be the same? That don't make sense. You got what's called Sudanese people. You got Libyan people. You got
You
Ghanaian people. It's all.
you
It's no
got
such thing as African. Africa is a continent. How can all Africans be the same, but all Asians not even the same? That don't make sense. All Africans are not the same people. It's different tribes. You got Egyptians. You got people from Madagascar. You got Ethiopians. You got Congo people. It's different tribes. All Africans is not on the same page. It's different tribe units. You know what I mean? We always been a tribal people. All the tribes don't serve the same God. You know what I mean? Just like Asian people, you got Koreans,
that, and
Japanese, Chinese, Taiwan, Filipinos, Malaysians. They not all the same, but they all Asian. Just because you black don't mean you the same tribe as somebody. You know what I
and
mean,
that's
bro?
and that's exactly what I said when I said that we all come from when these ships came over. We came from all ports,
Different parts of Africa.
Let me
not
slide in, y'all.
not
Let
just
me just
Africa.
let me just slide in for 1 second.
We was at the Gold Coast though. The Gold Coast was the kings. They had all the they even called them the Gold Coast. That's why they called them the Gold Coast. They had all
Flo-
they was the king. We come from kings, y'all. We just don't
Florida,
even know that part.
let me just slide in for 1 second, y'all. Somebody giving you your flowers, Florida. Out of Storm says Florida need to change his name. He's too intelligent to wear that name.
Exactly. But I don't really think we should turn nigga into something from the past. I think we should try to turn it to something positive. But I said, you know how you go to Jamaica and it's called Kingston? That's why the white people named that Kingston. That was the land of the kings. Same thing with Haiti. You know how it's called Port-au-Prince?
Yeah,
Port-au-Prince mean the port of the princess. A prince mean your dad was a king. So I mean, honestly, we come from kings and queens, but we just don't know that. We call ourselves black. We call ourselves nigga. We call ourselves colored people. We call ourselves African American, but we don't really know our true bloodline. If we knew, why you think in school, Black History Month, they don't even teach you about Mensa Musa. Man, Mensa Musa is worth like 300 billion, but they wiped Mensa Musa out of the history books. And even the Moors ruled Europe for 1,500 years before the white man came in. School don't even talk about the Moors. They just say, oh, y'all was always slaves and picking cotton, but they don't talk about before slavery. They don't talk about the Gold Coast when they had all the gold and the crowns on, and they don't.
We was
I
just
don't
talking about this the other night. They don't talk that they never going to talk about when the Moors was when the Moors was when Hannibal was running Italy was running Spain.
They don't talk about that. When
and
Hannibal defeated the Roman Empire twice, they
Yeah.
don't talk about that.
Well, you know why? You
you
know
right.
why they don't talk about that? You know exactly why. Okay, because they want to forget all about that. All right,
Mensa Musa.
they release that bull run every year because that was their emancipation. See, that's their 4th of July. When they finally got free from those black people, that's why their skin so dark. But they hate to talk about that. They will never discuss that with you. They want
Hey,
you to they don't want you to remember that you come from a long line of conquerors. They would like for you to believe you was always dependent upon Europeans. Okay, they don't ever want you to remember that you once was the owners of you descend from the owners of some Europeans.
I want to step in. I want. Squeak said everybody came from our blood, and you right, Squeak. You absolutely right. Because if we all drop our DNA, ain't nothing pure, and most of it winds up back to Africa, Egypt, Ghana. You right. And you right too, Mr. Tommy. We all kings and queens, or was that? I hate to call you that name. I'm gonna call you Florida King. You absolutely right on all your points.
He
And I
earned that though.
and
You earned the name King.
you
Young
sure
King, Florida King,
did.
whatever. You earned that. Go ahead, Monica. My bad.
I just have to give you your props because I mean, I'm 61 years old, and believe me, I done did an ancestry chart. I done did DNA. I know exactly where I came from, exactly, due to the fact that when I grew up, I still had two great grandmothers, and one of them was born and lived partial her life in slavery. So I got a whole lot of information to that helped me get to the point that I know exactly where I came from Africa. I came from a tribe called the Tuchi tribe, southeast of Africa. And so I started, getting myself involved in the history of that. And I know a lot because I'm a reader. I read all the time. But to hear somebody your age, your youth, knowing as much information as you know about yourself, your history, politics, no, take that. I'm like Eye of the Storm. Take that name away. You the Florida King. And I'm going to give you your flowers right now.
Great job, youngster.
Because we so used to seeing and hearing negative things when it comes to the younger generation. But I want everybody to focus on what Florida King said. He said that if you give the younger people an alternative, if you give them something, if they got another option, they'd be glad to turn in the guns. They'd be glad to go this route. They'd be glad to go that route. But if they born in poverty, if they in poverty, what you expect them to do? You could tell them all day long what they should be doing. You could tell them all day long to stop the violence, stop the killing. But if that's all they see, and if that's all they got their hands on, if they got their hands on a gun quicker than they got their hands on a job or making money, what you think they gonna roll with? They gonna pick up that gun. Come on, Tommy.
I think we gotta promote the positivity more, man, and shut down the negativity quicker. You understand where I'm coming from? And I think it start first and foremost in our media, and our messages, and our music. You understand? Because us as a people, we put a big emphasis on stardom, like television stars, music stars, and excuse me, they are the first line of people who promote this negativity to the youth. And understand the youth is very impressionable. And when you set their sights on these goals that they see that they can achieve through negativity, what is their motivation to be positive? You understand? And the bigger these negative programs get, the more you show the other cultures that these are the influences that we back. So we gotta stop backing these negative influences to our people, because when we promote these negative influences to our people, they influence the youth to understand that, hey, maybe I can live my life like this. But see, we as adults and grown-ups gotta let them know that, hey, you cannot live like this. You cannot live like this and survive in a free world. That is a complete contradiction. The things that are coming out of their mouths, that they, and through your speakers and through your television set, that these programs, when they get so big from the support that they get. And when you put positive messages on TV, they get little light and little shine. You understand where I'm coming from? When you promote these negative inspirations to our youth, trust me, they go for it hook, line, and sinker, because they are very impressionable. And we as older people know that at one point we were younger people and we were highly influenced by these same social forces that got the youth today going crazy. So we understand it. And the fact that we understand it and won't stop supporting it says a lot about the things that we value. We need to value the things that are positive and stop supporting the things that are negative that will influence our youth to self-destruct. Okay, because that's what I see going on in all of our communities, all of this self-destructing.
It's all
Okay,
poverty.
And that's so true. Let me let Squeak slide in because she a new panelist, and I'll come back to the rest of y'all. Slide in, Squeak. You so right though, Tommy. Slide in, Squeak.
What's up, everybody in the panel, in the chat?
salute, Squeak.
Okay. Uh, uh, shoot. First of all, our blood is in every race.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, second of all, we need to police up our communities. I don't know if I can say this to Black Panthers, Shank.
Sure, let it go. Say what you say.
Okay. That's what the Black Panthers did.
Teach.
They was a gang, but they policed up the communities. This is why we have WIC today, because of the Black Panthers. They did that. That's what we need to do. We need to police up all the guns. All the little teenagers need to be home in the house by a certain time. I mean, let's get it, fellas. We need y'all. We can't even get y'all to vote. We got it. Okay. I have never seen, I've been voting since I was 18. I have never seen where the states have so much control of us. So them state, local voting elections, they count. Our governor here, he makes laws by the strike of a pen. We don't have no vote on it. Just by a strike of a pen. We are going so backwards. Women don't even have charge of their body because y'all fellas didn't help us. We need y'all. We need y'all. We can't do it by ourselves. We have to do it together. Period. We have to do it together.
That's real, Squeak.
We can only do so much as women, but y'all not doing nothing.
That's real, Squeak.
Y'all don't even know what's going on in the news. Y'all play with your phone all day, but you can't read the news on your phone.
That's real.
You people don't even know who's governor, who's your city council. You don't know because you don't read.
It's real.
Let's get it together. This has got to stop. We're doing what they want us to do. Look at Oklahoma. They built their own town. Properties, everything. They was making money. Everything we do, we try to do. They try to break us down. How far down can we go right now, y'all? It's time to wake up. And it's got to start in the communities because the kids are getting killed day by day. And we don't want nothing to happen to our kids. And that's what it's about. It's about the next generation. Well, they're going to be slaves? This is ridiculous, y'all. And it's happening before our eyes. And ain't nobody saying. I don't know if we're waiting for a leader or whatever. But we need to take care of our communities. That's where it needs to start. We can't sit back no longer and let this happen. We need to take charge. And we can't, as women, do it by ourselves. We have to do it together. That's like,
You said a mouthful, Squeak.
Sure
I
did.
didn't take not one lie. You said a
I'm
mouthful.
tired, Shane. I'm tired of watching this and nobody's not doing anything. We got to get in the communities on your block. Have a neighborhood watch, whatever you want to call it, but no guns. That's why everybody got a gun, because they're selling it so cheap. They ain't going to the store and buying it. They're getting it off the streets. So get them out of our communities. Then they'll be off the street. This is crazy. Every day, it's a killing. It's a shooting. Teenagers, kids, women, men, us. How long are we going to sit back and let them do us like this? Y'all man need to get some kahunas and let's get busy. We've been waiting on you. Show up. Y'all talking about you want to be men and men should do this and men should. You ain't doing nothing. Not a god dang it thing. Nothing. Just sitting here talking about it ain't doing nothing either. Show us that y'all men, that y'all care. You got heart.
Let me let Eye of the Storm slide in, Squeak. Salute, Eye of the Storm.
Salute, everybody. Y'all cooking today. I swear.
Look, this was supposed to only been like a 15, 20-minute demonstration, but I can't stop it. Come on, brother. Come on, Eye of the Storm.
Right. It'd be like that. And I share this piece that I wrote. It's called Recognized Game. Fourth quarter, 2-minute warning. Whistle being played. Our team song, We Shall Overcome, is no longer being displayed. Who are my safeties? Is my team's defense going to save me, or that brother running for the touchdown? Malcolm's been shot. First down. Timeout, timeout. Yo, huddle on the line. Hey, yo, what we going to do? They got coach who we supposed to listen to. Timeout is running out. Somebody call the next play. And no more turnovers to endorsements. They got our team looking the other way. If your ass is on this field facing this way, your ass better play. There goes the whistle. Let's go, team. Hut one, shot one. Somebody shot the dream. Second down. Get up, Malcolm, Martin. The play was just starting. Who next up on the string? Oh, y'all just gonna quit the team. Together we were standing, team now divided, because some of y'all changing into the jerseys for the other side. These sideline commercials got some of us saying cheese to the opposing teams. Wait, are we supposed to be playing like rivalries or enemies? Because it seems like every time we get some unity, we catch a penalty. Recognized game. Penalty, 400-year loss of yardage, line of scrimmage, back on the 20. Down by 2. Tupac, you know what we need you to do. Go long, but keep your head up. All eyes on me on 3. And when you get it, baby, smile for me. Hut 2, Hut 3, MBT, Machiavelli, where you be? Wide open, my brother, and I'm tossing it up to thee. First and 20, but how you go down with blood on this jersey? Man, this don't make sense. Time out, time out. Where was his defense? Dear mama, dry your eyes, because some of our teammates don't realize how to recognize game. We've been free agency since slavery, but some of us still slaves to that shiesty field nigga mentality. With nothing to live for, nothing to play for, damn sure nothing to do, no fears of dying. Why bother trying? You mean the next blitz is lining up for you? Because I'm trying to tell you this game is real. This ain't one of them made for TV dramas. You want to know what it feels like to get your brain snatched? Wait till they sack your quarterback. But somebody tell me, why do all our leaders, our wide receivers, keep ending up on their backs? Is unsportsmanlike behavior the only way we get advertised as saviors? Maybe that's why we got to share a locker room with players and haters.
Damn.
You mean this next?
Finish.
You mean
Finish.
Oh man.
Hey, bro, who you stole this up off of? Out of the Storm?
Bro, I've won slams with this poem. This is a matter of fact, Scarface tried to sign me from this poem right here when I met him like 20-some years ago.
That's an old poem?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I think I wrote it back in 2001 or something like that. Yeah, it was. Oh, and I ain't even finished with it though. I was into it. My bad. But the whole conversation, just from when I got on, it was just kept saying that dude spit that piece, recognize game. That's the all new expansion team. So let them haters yell. May the revolution fail. May the revolution succeed. Because game recognize game. And you can always run game on lanes. How many more losses in the history books do you plan to continue to claim? We down by 3 on the 1st and 20. Wait, 3 times 120, 360, recognized game. Yeah, it's some more to it, but I kind of jumped on that. I thank you for letting me share that, though, bro. It was in my spirit to share with y'all.
Bro, I appreciate you for sharing it with us. If you want to finish it, go ahead, or please make sure you come back to finish it. I'm like, you took me back 30 years. I didn't even, because that's why I asked you when did you do it, because I didn't even know they still done poetry. Remember, poetry was something big. I mean, real big.
Yeah. Some of the Rock Squad, they know I'm a poet. They know I'm a poet. After one of them nights after the meetup, I showed them me on Showtime at the Apollo. I'm actually the last poet to ever win on Showtime at the Apollo doing spoken word poetry. Yeah, that's one of my little wheelhouse things I've done.
I gotta say, you for last. You stay right where you at. Any last words, Monica, before we get out of here?
We just all got to get better. Get into your communities and see what we can do. We got to come up with an answer, because we killing each other. And on that word, see you later, Rock Squad.
Appreciate you, Monica. Sweet. Any last words? Oh, I dropped Squeak by mistake. My bad, Squeak. Any last words, Squeak?
We need to police up the community. That's where we start. That's where it always starts. And man, you got to show up. You talking about you want to be the leader and this and that. You ain't doing nothing. We need y'all to step up. We at war. So let's fight and win. That's it, Shaq.
Appreciate you, Squeak. You welcome. Appreciate you. Take us home, Out of the Storm.
I have a minister I met when I was 16 years old. I was dating his niece. And, I'm 16. He grown, 30 something. And he used to always just keep it real with me. But there was one of the things that stuck with me the most about meeting him was he said, this country, they want to say no to drugs, but they won't give you something else to say yes to. I agree with all of what's speaking, everybody, all the panelists to say it today. And shout out Monica from 216. That's where I'm from. But we have to give them something to say yes to. Not only did the Black Panthers and then police their community, they created opportunities for the people in the community, not just the food thing, giving the people the food and they gave them things to get people up and out of the streets to do something with. So while we're talking about, hey, show up, hey, police our neighborhoods, we have to give our people something else to say yes to. Otherwise, we just gonna keep saying the same thing. We yelling it at the wall. Just hey, stand up, be better, be better, be better. But we're not giving them anything else to say yes to. Salute y'all.
Appreciate you, Eye of the Storm.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Salute. Make sure everybody pull up on Miss Parker's page at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for a demonstration on domestic violence. That demonstration will be done by Miss Parker and Pee Wee. So make sure everybody pull up at 7 p.m. on Miss Parker's channel. If you don't have Miss Parker's channel, go to the search engine on YouTube and put in Miss Parker, Miss Parker. Miss is spelled M-Z. So it's going to be Miss Parker, Miss Parker. That's Miss with a Z, M-Z. If you still can't find it, just come to my community wall and I will post the demonstration on my community wall. Once again, make sure everybody pull back up at 7 p.m. on Miss Parker's channel for a demonstration with Miss Parker and Pee Wee on domestic violence. I got boy, Uncle Charlie, boy, you sure know when to come, don't you? Why you always do me like this, Uncle Charlie? Why you always wait for the last second?
I'm sorry, Shank, man.
Come on. Go ahead, slide in, Mr. Charlie, slide in.
Yes, sir, man. Let me tell y'all something. Let's get this straightened out. I preached about this last night, about generational change. What don't happen from then until now? Here's Miss Jones in the neighborhood. She been married, never had children, and her husband died a long time ago. And now she see those young men out there in her front yard playing, and she don't bother. She let them play as young men because she's an elder. Now they're 8 and 7 years old, and now she's 10 years later, 15 years later, she's an elderly woman now. And that same 8-year-old boy and 7-year-old boy that helped her in the house with her groceries, this time she pulls up, and now he's 17. But this particular time, he don't help her with her groceries. He hit upside her damn head, take her damn keys and her car. What happened to that 8-year-old boy to now? What happened to him? What happened to him? We got things on TV like Love and Hip Hop. That ain't got nothing to do with hip hop. But look at those young black sisters calling each other all B's and H's and stuff and fighting like animals. But who do they put in front of our young ladies? Megan Thee Stallion, Glorilla. This is who they put in front of your young ladies. And then the white son asks his mama, Mom, what is a stallion? She said, that's a horse. So you a horse now, sister? Now here we go with Glorilla. Well, she might well be at the zoo with the rest of the animals because they watching you jump around on stage like a damn gorilla. Look what they putting in front of your face. Look what they putting in front of your daughter's face. Look what they put in front of your young men out here. I told you. You got the world and you got the church. And what did the world do? Once they implemented their plan, well, it's one thing that been touched. It's that church. And then the world comes inside the church where you used to have all that. Now here we go. Here's a pastor, young. But do he do right? No, he changed with the times. And now those 2 women on the front row is pregnant by him. And the wife knows. And what they do, they let him keep on preaching. Now the council is not in just the pulpit. It's all throughout the church. That's what the council at now. What is our young people doing out here? Here's a young lady at a Kevin Gates concert. She just got to be close to Kevin Gates. So she goes up there and she turns around and bent over, and Kevin Gates spits in her mouth, and she drank it down like a cold Pepsi. This is what she did. What is going on with that young lady? What is going on with Kevin Gates that you would disrespect this young lady, and this young lady will be disrespected? What is going on? See, the world just couldn't stay in the world. They had to come in the church too. This is what it is. I keep telling you, what do we have to do? Who do we really need to be scared of before we get in the damn sense? Who we did? Back in the day, I had no choice of what clothes I wear to church. My mama took me to the damn outlet. I had some wings on my shirt, on my button-down shirt, was so long they used to call me Fly Boy. And wasn't a damn thing I could do about it, because my mom said your ass either go to church or your ass ain't gonna be able to stay here. See? And she would give me and my brother $1 to put in the collection plate. But as time goes on, the collection plate used to be in the back, and now it's in the front. Why? Because somebody is misusing the funds. Once you lose trust in that neighborhood, in that church, then everything else is a free fall. I heard that sister that came on here said what the brother said. Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. You got some in prison. You got some 6'7" with some heels on. Then you got some, if they ain't in prison, they on their damn way. And the ones that being real men, they don't talk about. We out here, sister. I'm a real man. Shank is a real brother, a real man. So you got two over here. And the ones that just got off here, they're men too. So you got men out here. Then tell me, what do we supposed to do, sister? When you see two black young sisters outside of Walmart trying to kill one another, and then their wigs come off, and they don't look the same before they got to fighting. They look like somebody else. Wild animals fighting. And guess what they fighting over? A man. A man that goes to the bathroom and take a pee with the seat toilet down instead of putting it up. See, this generational change, this thing with the generation, this might be the last generation, because you can't tell them a damn thing. I tell you what, if you think they ain't out of control, go up there and tell them don't drink out that water fountain. Now let's just go up there and tell them not to drink out that water fountain. They got to bring your damn hat to the cemetery. What happened to these young men, these young ladies? Well, nobody even say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am anymore. Nobody says that anymore. I had a guy in the store jumped in front of me with an automatic weapon in his pants. He said, I'm sorry, OG, I ain't mean to jump in. I said, brother, let me tell you something. You can jump in front of me anytime you want to. I don't give a damn if I'm at the grocery store. As long as you got that gun with the extended clip, you can jump me anywhere. So what is going on where this young man had to walk around with a gun in his pocket where it's visible, where you can see? So he ain't got it for the police. He got it for you. He got it for the other brother. I tell you who got the power. It surely ain't us. And so a Jew got shot up in a Jew neighborhood up in New York. Right up there in New York, got shot. 50 cars of New York finest tried to investigate. You know what they told him? No, you park outside this neighborhood. We're going to figure out who got shot, and we're going to figure out who did it. So you stay outside the neighborhood. So they put up barrels, and then they turned their car to secure the neighborhood, but they couldn't come in. That's power. But do something in Brooklyn or in the Bronx, and them New York police coming in, they cracking heads and they whooping ass. Why? Because nobody in there in that black neighborhood got no power. See, they got no power. That's why they're able to come in. But that Jew man with that big old top hat and them curls on the side of his head, he said, don't you bring your ass in here. And he stayed his New York PD ass outside that damn barrack. Because they got power. You got to understand, during the civil rights movement, this is what it was. Everybody was out there marching, even including Jews. But the Jews joined in to break the system down. And once they was in the system, then all of a sudden, I ain't with that we shall overcome anymore. I'm about my people. This is what it is. You got to know what's going on, what you see. On that TV, what we watching, we need to monitor what our babies watch. And now they got cartoon characters with female cartoon characters, and you can see their breast. And the child is 4 years old watching it. They sneak that stuff in. You need to monitor what your child watch. You need to tell your child and say, listen, you listen to what your mom and daddy say, and I'm gonna tell you something. One day you're gonna be out there in that world out there, and you just can't come back and forth home because you can't get it right. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I got a neighborhood out here where I stay in, and they shoot all night. They be racing, shooting, all kinds of stuff. And nobody says anything because it's in the black community. This is what it is, man. This is what it is. We need to continue as men and as women to try to put a positive message out there. Because I have seen elders try to talk to some of these young folks, and they call them B's and H's. You better get out of my face. That's what they told that old lady. They killed a 75-year-old man up in Philadelphia. And you know why they killed him? Not because he was old, because they could. It was a thrill kill. We want to see how much we can do to him before he died. And the youngest one that helped him was 10 years old. Where the parents at? Because they ain't the only one need to be going to prison. The parents need to go too. They need to go right behind their ass. The elders don't get treated with respect anymore. I remember, I'm going to say this in closing. I remember when I was a little boy, and you had some old men up the street from my house. They used to play checkers out there on the front porch. 8 o'clock in the morning, and I see them, and I go home to school. 8 hours later, 3 o'clock, and I get out, and they still playing checkers. Ain't nobody shot at them. Ain't no bullet whizzed past them. Nobody did anything to them. They was doing something they wanted to do. They was elders living out their life and their golden years out there on that porch. See? What happened when that young boy that's 8 years old hit that mama in the head, bust her head to the white meat, and all of a sudden now, what did she do to make him mad like that? No, it's what the world did. Okay? It's what the world did to make him angry. Okay? Why is our young people so angry? Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't take control of your home, if you don't know how to say no to these children, then they will do something to you. Just like that lady down in South Carolina down there. She knew her son was on drugs. He was doing crystal meth, crack, all that, doing dippers, dipping his cigarette in PCP. But when she didn't have no money, what did he do? They found her body on the front and her head on the back. Because he killed her. Because in that fit he had, because you wouldn't give me no money, because you set the narrative in this game, I'm going to kill you. Because now you're not my mother anymore. Because you didn't give me what I want. Once your children get to where you can't tell them that, out the door they go. I don't give a damn where you go. You can't stay here. It's what it is. And that's all I got to say, player.